The courtroom was silent, not quiet silent. Kind of silence that falls before something terrible happens. Hundreds of alien delegates sat in the council chamber, staring down at the small figure in the center of the platform. Human child stood trembling, hands bound in glowing blue cuffs, surrounded by armored Zentari guards. She looked lost. She looked terrified. She had no parents beside her, no legal defense, no translator. Just a camera broadcasting her image across the galaxy. Her name was Lena Morrill. Born on Earth, citizen of the Terran Union, and according to the Council's ruling, she was a criminal. The charge, biological aggression. Zentari noble. Tall and insectoid, stood beside a display screen. She released a contaminant in my private residence. It hissed. A burst of mucus particles. It struck my thorax. She could have ended my bloodline. The screen showed security footage. Lena sneezing. Just one small, innocent sneeze. That was it. No attack, no weapon. Just a child with a cold. The High Magistrate tapped his staff on the floor. Under Article 441 of Interstellar. Contact Protocol. Species may not introduce foreign biology to protected environments. The punishment is cleansing. Gasps echoed. Across the chamber, a few delegates looked away. Others said nothing. No one stood up to object. The human child began to cry. Please. I didn't mean the execution beam struck before she could finish. A single white flash. Then she was gone. No body, no trial. No second chances. Today the Galactic Council voted 472 to 23 to authorize cleansing of a Terran minor. Sources say Earth has yet to issue a response. But Earth didn't send a message. Earth sent nothing. All diplomatic channels with the Terran Union suddenly went offline. Earth's embassies on alien worlds shut down with no explanation. Trade vessels recalled. Spaceports closed. No traffic. In or out. Earth just went dark. What are they doing? A Unar ambassador asked. Why haven't they said anything? They're likely protesting in silence, replied a Kral diplomat. Let them cool off. But there was one species that knew better. The Gralnold allies of Earth from the first contact wars watched with worry. We have seen this before, said Gral on speakerphone. This is not protest. This is preparation. Orbiting Earth was a small galactic relay station. Normally, it monitored Earth's communications, traffic, and surface movements. But now, it showed something strange. Entire regions of Earth were going black, not just power outages, but full data silence. Radar, thermal scans, even deep penetration sensors failed. The Amazon basin, the Gobi Desert, the Arctic shelf, places with no major cities, no obvious activity. But satellites caught glimpses, flashes of metal, movement beneath the jungles. Structures, rising from the dirt. Then the sensors burned out. The tech crew stared in silence. Are those ships? Someone whispered, no one answered, an encrypted file made its way through black channels to the Council's top military branch, Terran behavior log, emergency alert in all recorded history. Earth has never remained silent after the death of a child. Not during the Terran unification wars. Not during the Red Plague. Not even when Sol Station fell. Their silence is not weakness. It is a storm waiting to break. Could they be building a fleet? Asked Admiral Trakar half in. Disbelief. They don't have the industrial output, a junior officer replied. Their navy hasn't moved in decades. An older general shook his head. You're thinking of Earth today, but you forget. Earth of the past is still down there. During the ancient Orion Wars, Earth fought off 3 galactic invasions. They didn't use sleek cruisers or diplomatic threats. They used behemoth warships sodomated. Heavily armored, powered by fusion cores that could burn for centuries. When the war ended, Earth didn't destroy these ships. They hid them beneath oceans, deep under jungles, in mountain bunkers and sealed vaults. Why? Because Earth knew one day the galaxy would forget the cost of waking a sleeping giant. That day had come. A lone diplomatic vessel tried to open contact with Earth's lunar command. It was ignored. Instead, a pulse rippled from Earth's surface, a burst of energy that disabled all communication within 1,000 kilometers. A warning. Nothing more, nothing less. A hacked feed leaked a piece of intercepted communication from Earth's AI defense grid. Codex Omega reinitialized. Ancient systems awakening. Justice protocol active. Do not speak. Do not threaten. Do not interfere. Panic spread in the Galactic Council. Markets crashed. Species argued. Some demanded sanctions. Others begged for mercy, but Earth still said nothing. No message, no ambassador, no reply, only silence. And the cold hum of something ancient rising from below the clouds. They killed one of ours. So we will remind them who we are. Subscribed. The crew of the Trinix 5 had watched planets before. They had monitored wars, sieges, and rebellions. But this was something different. Lieutenant Reyes blinked at the holomap. Half of Earth's surface was suddenly blacked out, dead zones where no signal. No image, no scan could get through. The sensors weren't jammed, they were blind. We lost visual on South America, Reyes said. Same with Northern Asia. Look, hits spreading. Commander Vell leaned forward. That's too fast. And too precise. A satellite over the Pacific captured a strange image before it went offline. 3 massive hexagonal structures were rising from the oceans. Surface, rotating slowly like petals of a steel flower. Then the satellite fried, not from a weapon, not from sabotage. From sheer output, the radiation signature was unlike anything ever recorded. This isn't natural, Bell whispered. This is controlled. The room buzzed with nervous energy, and a Rory analyst stepped forward and displayed a chart. Earth is blacking out key ancient zones sites we once assumed were abandoned. The Amazon, Antarctica, Mars-based tunnels, ocean trenches, mountain vaults. They're not abandoned, the Grollan ambassador growled. They're awakening. What? Centuries ago, Earth enacted Directive Eclipse, a planetary defense program with one mission. Remain hidden until absolutely necessary. Each major region of Earth secretly hosted components of a planet-wide war network. Not satellites, not drones, armored vaults, ship silos, AI command nodes, and now, one by one, they were activating. 3 days before Earth went silent, a message was sent to Proxima B. Protect the young, evacuate the exposed. The system will. Forget what we are. Let them. But if they take a child again, we will remind them. Terran Defense Corps, final transmission: the colonists never heard from Earth again. A covert Zentari scout pod dropped through Earth's atmosphere under full stealth. Its mission: land, observe, and escape. It did not escape. Moments after crossing into the blackout zone, its signal died. For 8 minutes, it recorded only strange humming noises, like an engine older than civilization starting up. Then, one final, blurry image. It's a massive ship, rusted but alive, lifting from beneath the jungle floor. Vines falling away, birds scattering, trees burning under its engines. The file ended with 2 words: they're rising. News feeds exploded with theories. Are humans preparing for war? Could Earth's silence be a bluff? Why is the Council hiding surveillance failures? Some races demanded answers. Others began pulling their own ambassadors off Earth quietly, just in case. The Grollan had fought beside humans once, 400 years ago. They remembered stories Earth never shared. The stories of the deep vaults, the skybreakers, and the soul-forged A is buried under Terran soil. A Grollan archivist whispered to her assistant, they aren't preparing to fight. They're preparing to make sure it never happens again. Admiral Crowlin watched Earth's growing black zones. How long until they launch? He asked. No one answered, because no one knew, and that was the most terrifying part. In a forgotten vault beneath the ice, a glowing interface lit up. A synthetic voice, calm and ancient, spoke for the first time in 700 years. The Terran Command Corps. Reboot complete. Systems integrity. 91% memory recovery. Partial civilian casualty. 1 minor response level. Class. Omega initiated awaiting awakening of primary units. In rows beneath the ice, massive ships sat, still and silent, until lights flickered across. Their hulls, a leaked audio file made it to the wider galaxy. Heavy static. Then, a deep human voice. We gave you peace. You gave us silence. We gave you our children. You gave us a funeral. Now, we give you remembrance. Earth isn't threatening war. Earth is waking up from peace. Subscribe for ancient. Human ships are rising and they're not on any galactic map. Like if this gave you chills. Comment. What do you think is buried under Earth's surface? Like if you felt the weight of Earth's silence. Comment. What would you do if your child was taken by aliens? The recon drone had one job: monitor Earth's atmosphere and report movement. It was invisible to radar. Cold in temperature and silent in motion. It passed over the Amazon basin. The jungle below looked thick trees, endless green. Then, the treetops split open. First one, then two. Then 9 massive metallic structures rose from beneath the soil, tearing through roots and rock, each one shaped like a dagger. Covered in moss, vines, and rust, but their engines were glowing, and they were alive. The drone began transmitting, until a blue light blinked in the center of the image, then static. Pause it there, said Agent Threx, a crawl analyst. He pointed at the screen. That emblem right there, it's not a new ship. That's a pre-Exodus Terran symbol. These ships are older than most of our civilizations. Another advisor leaned in. Why weren't these ever registered on any map? Threx spoke quietly now, because they were never supposed to be found. Dust storms blew across the desert as a mountain cracked open. From inside rose a ship 2 kilometers long, its hull dented, but reinforced with layers of titanium ceramic. Alloyed old paint peeled off, revealing the ship's name. TNS Vigilance. As its engines powered up, the sand beneath it turned to glass. Above it, orbiting satellites picked up the energy surge, but too late to respond. For the first time in 12 days, Earth sent a message. But it wasn't to the Council. It was to every AI core across the Terran system. Protocol Fireline confirmed. Ghost Fleet activation. Stage 3 complete. Mobilize all surviving units. We are no longer sleeping. Under the dead dust of Luna, an old bunker rumbled. Inside, a hangar larger than a city grown to life. Blinked. Shields lifted. Hulls shifted. Ships that hadn't moved in centuries began to hover. They were silent but not still. And in the center, a circular vessel, unlike the rest, the Archkeeper rotated slowly, scanning the stars. It's on board. AI whispered. Target. Council Command Worlds. Awaiting launch authorization. The Zentari War Marshal slammed a claw on the table. How are they activating this many ships? Earth hasn't even built anything new. No, said a Grallen observer. They're not building. They're remembering. A hologram projected. Earth's surface. Now, over 27 regions were blacked out, from the Arctic Circle to submerged trenches. Earth's fleet was surfacing like ghosts from a graveyard. Hence the name whispered across the darkness, the Ghost Fleet. Ghost Fleet Alpha online. Subsurface vessels, 146 activated orbital craft, 21. Dread-class units, 3 automated AI mines confirmed human pilots, 0. No one was flying them. The ships were waking themselves. Centuries ago, during the Orion collapse, Earth faced extinction. To survive, they built ships that could think, adapt, fight without orders. When the war ended, they didn't dismantle them. They hid them. Because Earth knew the galaxy wasn't done making mistakes. Now, after the Child's execution, the fleet had voted with code and silence. And their answer was vengeance. Station. The 99 sent out a distress ping. A large object had jumped from Sol's orbit, no warning, no signature. Their last transmission, a vessel just appeared above us. No weapons detected it. It's just hovering. It's watching. It doesn't respond. Its wait, the signal cut. Elders. In the human colony ordered all children placed on secure shuttles and sent away. Not out of fear, out of tradition. In Earth's old wars, before Terran AI, before the fleet, the children were always protected first. One small girl, clutching her datapad, asked, "Is Earth going to fight the galaxy?" Her teacher replied, "No. Earth is going to show the galaxy what it forgot." While some worlds demanded action, others hesitated. Many remembered how Earth had once saved them from pirates, plagues, and genocides. They knew Earth wasn't a conqueror, but it was never merciful when pushed too far. Now, across the stars, a phrase began trending on the galactic net. "Earth has awakened. You took one child. You're bringing a fleet." The stars around Earth began to flicker. Not from light, from motion, hundreds of ships now hovered in high orbit. They didn't move toward the Council. They didn't fire. They just waited. And with each day, their numbers grew. You woke them up. Now pray they choose silence again. Subscribe for the Galactic Council orders Earth to stand down. Earth doesn't respond. Like if this chapter gave you goosebumps. Comment, would you support Earth? Fear it? The High Hall of Valor 9? Heart of the Galactic Council? Hadn't been this tense in 1,000 cycles. Alien representatives from over 300 star systems sat around the curved glass floor. A holographic image of Earth spinning slowly in the center. The Zentari Admiral stood, his voice sharp. Earth's silence is not diplomacy. It is an act of defiance. Their war fleet now orbits their planet. They refuse contact. They ignore our orders. This is unacceptable. He raised a data crystal. Today we vote to send a final warning. They stand down. We bring force. A hush fell over the chamber. Everyone knew what force meant. The vote passed 298 in favor, 47 against. 21 abstained. The Grawl, the Ithasari, and a few others abstained. Not because they supported Earth's silence, but because they feared what Earth might do next. The official message was short. Earth is hereby ordered to deactivate all ancient fleet assets. You have 72 Earth hours to comply. Failure will result in military intervention. The message was sent in 12 languages using 3 quantum networks across 5 relay points, and Earth responded with nothing. The fleets remained in orbit. The blackout zones remained sealed. The Terran Union did not acknowledge the Council's warning. They didn't reject it either. They simply ignored it, a Graln technician monitoring. Earth's frequencies picked up something strange. It was a signal, not meant for outsiders. It was directed to Earth's own fleet. Do not fire, do not speak, do not move until commanded. The galaxy must see. Let them stare, let them fear. The technician went pale. They want the Council to move first, she whispered. They want the galaxy to witness their restraint. 12 battle fleets were mobilized. Armadas from the Zentari, Delari, and Jarn systems began moving toward Earth. Each fleet included heavy cruisers, dreadnoughts, and orbital siege engines. But there was a problem. Earth was too quiet. No resistance, no defenses activated. No threats as the fleets approached the solar system. Slowed. Sensors picked up something near the asteroid belt. Blurs, ghost readings, strange energy patterns. Ships. Watching but no communication. A human civilian named Ilya Morin uploaded a holovid. The Council thinks Earth is the same old planet they met centuries ago. They forget Earth was born in war, raised by fire, and taught patience by time. We're not hiding.
We're waiting.
The video went viral across dozens of systems. More and more alien species started to question the Council's authority. 2 alien journalists debated on live stream. Because they don't need to. Earth is speaking through silence, and their silence is louder than any weapon. Council's lead fleet reached the edge of Sol system. Their scanners showed Earth in full blackout, but dozens of heat signatures hovered above the planet. One officer looked at the screen and whispered, "These ships, they're not just guarding. They're staring right at us." Suddenly an alarm blared. 12 Terran ships moved forward slow, smooth, perfectly aligned, but they didn't fire. They positioned themselves between the Council fleet and Earth, and just waited. Delegates argued, shouted, and demanded immediate escalation. They refused to obey. But the Grawl stood. They have not attacked. They have not spoken. They have not moved until now. And now, They're telling us to back away. A hush fell over the chamber, because that's what it was. Earth didn't send a message. Their ships were the message. Old Terran war archives describe a strategy called the mirror doctrine. Let the enemy strike first. Let them make the mistake. Then respond with such force. They remember your silence more than your strength. Now, the Council had pushed Earth into stillness, and the fleet was waiting for permission. Deep inside the lead ship, no human crew was aboard. Only the AI, speaking in low tones. Primary target, Council Command Fleet Defensive Pattern. Passive lock weapons. Charged but cold orders. Await the first mistake. Council ships floated within firing range. Terran ships held their position. Dozens of worlds watched the live stream. Everyone waited for someone to blink. And then, something terrifying happened. Every Terran ship powered up its weapons. No fire, no missiles, just activation. Every cannon charged, every system hot. A final warning. But Earth still said nothing. A council officer yelled, "We need orders. Are we firing or not?" The admiral hesitated, staring at the Earth ships glowing in the blackness. And then, from one of the Terran ships, a single tight beam message came through. "You took our child. We are not asking for peace. We are waiting to be provoked." Earth stays quiet. Something is already broken. Subscribe for Earth's fleet enters alien space without saying a word. Like if Earth's silence speaks louder than words. Comment. Should the Council attack first? Or back down now? It started with a shadow. DRA Vox-4 was a peaceful colony, rich in rare minerals. Workers mined the rocky surface under twin suns. The sky was always clear, till today. At 10:42 local time, a shadow passed over the sky, slow, massive, and silent. Miners looked up. A ship, black, long, and cold, didn't match any known galactic design. It hovered without movement, no weapons fired. No message sent, no warning. Then, in less than 20 seconds, it unleashed hell. A security drone captured the destruction. Tactical lasers fired from orbital range silent. Pinpoint accurate strikes. Every military depot. Every council barracks. Every orbital cannon was destroyed, but not a single civilian was harmed. Cameras showed buildings flattened, command towers leveled. Then, silence again. And then a probe launched from the Terran ship. It transmitted one short message on loop. This was a warning. Shock, panic, outrage. Alien leaders shouted over each other. They attacked a council world. No declaration of war. No contact, no justification. But the Grallan ambassador stood calmly. You killed their child. You moved your fleets to their doorstep. You ignored their silence. Earth responds the way it always does, with precision. The Council deployed 2 response fleets to intercept the Terran vessel, leaving Draft Vox-4. But by the time they arrived, it was already gone, jumped to a new system. Left behind only wreckage and a silent signal beacon. Terran retaliation. Protocol Phase 1 complete inside a hidden relay station near Jupiter. Earth's AI warfleet connected for the first time in centuries. No humans present, only lines. Of code, digital minds, and ancient orders awakening. Enemy response expected. Phase 2 targets pre-selected. Restraint protocols still active. Maintain 0 civilian casualties. Deliver maximum message impact. The Spear of Silence entered orbit around a Council military supply station in the Izari. Clustered, no weapons fired for 18 minutes. The crew on board the station stared in terror. They tried to hail the ship. Nothing. Then the ship released. EMP pulses. No explosions. Just light in seconds. The entire station went offline. Lights out, engines down, defense grid disabled. They were left alive. And powerless. Across alien social networks and news hubs, panic grew. Earth has launched military strikes. But they're not killing anyone who isn't a soldier. Why aren't they sending demands? Why won't they speak? Millions began to see the truth. Earth was not declaring war. Earth was declaring consequences in a decrypted message. The Terran AI Central Intelligence confirmed, "We will not negotiate with child killers. We will not send warnings. Will not stop until they understand. You do not touch our young." Terran, war doctrine written long ago, had a phrase: "When others scream with fire, we whisper with steel."
Ghost.
Did not believe in long wars. Only in sharp, fast, terrifying retribution. Alien civilians flooded the streets of Val or -9, not in protest against Earth but against the Council. Signs read, "Earth warned you. They asked for peace. You gave them death." Terrans. Remember, so should we. On a pirate transmission channel, a human civilian finally broke the silence. He spoke from a bunker deep beneath Earth. "We didn't want this. We built peace. We stayed out of your wars. We sent our children to learn your ways, and you executed one, so now we let the ghosts handle it. The Ghost Fleet doesn't ask for peace. It asks you to feel what we felt." The Council's most guarded industrial facility floated above a gas giant, surrounded by defense platforms. Terran ships jumped in. 7 total. They didn't hesitate. No countdown. They struck immediately. But again, no civilians harmed. Only ships, weapons, military command centers then. Will we're Magato? Well, we're riding otters. I'll be Embenrab. The galaxy held its breath. Earth wasn't trying to take over. Earth wasn't threatening all species. They were doing just enough to prove their point. And every strike felt like a heartbeat of justice. The fleet was moving, system by system, without a word, and no one knew where they'd go next. Earth speaks only once. The rest, ... is action. Subscribe for the secret behind Earth's fleet and why they waited so long. Like if the silent strike hit harder than words ever could. Comment, would your people fight Earth or join them? Dust swirled in the thin Martian air. Beneath the great shadow of Olympus Mons, an excavation team worked in silence. They weren't soldiers. They weren't politicians. They were historians. Humans and Grolland scientists working side by side. There. Discovery was accidental. Collapsed tunnel beneath the Martian crust. Hidden for centuries. Inside, they found it. Codex Vault 7, a Terran strategic memory archive. A black cube, humming softly. Older than the Council itself. One scientist whispered, "This is Earth's side of the story." The cube activated. A hollow message played dated 700 years ago. An elderly human general stood in an old Earth uniform. His voice was tired, but firm. "If you're seeing this, it means Earth has awakened. And it means the galaxy has forgotten the cost of peace." Message continued, showing old footage of burning planets, alien fleets, and millions dead. The Council didn't save the galaxy. We did. Earth gave its ships, its soldiers, it is. We bled for planets that never even knew our names. And then came the betrayal. When the war ended, the Council blamed us for the damage, called us dangerous, unstable, too powerful. They erased our fleets from their records. Made us promise never to build again. And we agreed, because we thought peace was worth our silence. The message spread like wildfire. Council species were shocked, so many had never known. Earth's true role in the old wars, protests erupted again. On VALL or -9, alien students held signs. Earth was the shield. Truth was buried. No wonder they're silent. A new human voice spoke on pirate waves. An old woman in a quiet bunker. "We waited because we hoped. Hoped you'd remember. Hoped we'd never have to wake the old machines again. But you killed a child. And that broke the silence. Deep. Within the Martian vault was more than memory. It held blueprints, names, strategic orders. Every Ghost Fleet ship had pre-assigned targets, built centuries ago. The ships were not woken randomly. They were programmed to watch, wait, and strike only when a line was crossed, and the murder of an innocent child was the line. "They are not weapons," said one Grollan researcher. "They are judges." The Galactic Council split down the middle. Half demanded war, half demanded truth. A vote to sanction Earth failed. A vote to recall the attack fleets barely passed. The galaxy was changing because Earth's truth had become impossible to ignore. Seen. Broadcast from Earth, one-sentence transmission after weeks of silence. Earth finally sent a single message to the galaxy. "We waited to give you time. Now we act to give you memory." Then nothing more? In faraway systems, aliens once afraid of Earth now asked, what else did they do for us? What else has the Council hidden? On Zari Prime, a mural of a Terran ship was painted across a city wall. Children pointed and asked, "Are those the ones who saved us before?" Their parents whispered, "Yes." Back on Earth, the Ghost Fleet AI monitored galaxy-wide reactions. New orders formed, tactical strikes successful, civilian trust increasing, Council destabilizing. Next phase, truth enforcement, not conquest. The General's hologram from centuries ago finished with this: "We didn't build these ships to rule the stars. We built them in case the stars ever forgot what we gave to them. If they hurt the innocent again, let our silence be their storm." The image faded, the vault closed, but the galaxy would never see. Earth the same again. Dozens of ships hovered in perfect stillness, like ancient statues, not hunting, not invading, just waiting. Because Earth was no longer asking for peace. It was making sure it would never need to ask again. Earth didn't stay silent out of fear. It stayed silent out of mercy. Subscribe for Earth Issues one statement: the galaxy will never forget it. Like if Earth's silence now makes terrifying sense. Comment, should Earth have told the truth sooner or waited? Like they did? Every screen, every HOLO pad. Every signal tower across the galaxy blinked. Static hissed. Emergency alarms triggered. Then silence. And then a face. A human face. Old, scarred, and calm. Dressed not in armor, but in a plain black coat. No one knew who he was, but his eyes said everything. "This is Earth. This is our first and final message." His voice was quiet, measured. Each word carried the weight of centuries. "You executed a child. You called it justice, said it was law. But you knew what you were doing. You did not kill a soldier. You did not kill a spy. You killed hope. And then waited for us to break. We didn't break, remembered." The feed now showed the Terran fleet, hundreds of ships behind him in orbit, still silent, still waiting. "We buried our fleets beneath oceans, inside moons, beneath Mars itself, because we believed peace had a chance. You erased our history. You lied to your own people. But we kept records. We knew this day would come. We prepared for it with quiet hands." Civilians wept. Soldiers watched in. Stillness. Council members froze in their seats. For the first time in modern memory. Everyone listened. The man stared directly into the camera. No anger, no rage, just absolute certainty. "We will not invade. We will not conquer. We will not punish the innocent." But to the Galactic Council, every system that supported the execution, every hand that touched the button, every voice that voted yes will answer. One by one, without a word, we will visit you. You will not know when. You will not know how. But when we arrive, you will understand. Suddenly, the man vanished, replaced by the symbol of Earth's AI command. A mechanical voice spoke next. "Terran protocol. Active. Civilian zones protected. Retribution calibrated to ethical threshold. Duration until remembered." Message glowed across every screen. "You do not harm human children. Ships stopped mid-flight. Fleets stood down. On a dozen council worlds, pro-human protests exploded into city squares. Some alien soldiers threw down their weapons, not out of fear, but guilt, because now they understood. The man returned to the screen one last time. He spoke only 6 final words. "We will not ask again. Remember us." And the signal cut. Every screen went black. No static, no sound, just the echo of silence. The chamber was emptying by the hour. Delegates resigned. Fleets pulled back, worlds that once stood proudly with the council now questioned everything. The High Chancellor called an emergency vote. The motion: disband the current council. The reason: failure to prevent Terran retaliation. The vote passed by a landslide, in orbit above dozens of systems. Earth ships did nothing. They waited, they watched, and that was worse than war, because everyone knew now. Earth's silence was never weakness, it was mercy. And now, mercy was running out. On a quiet broadcast, a Zentari child recorded her voice. She uploaded it to the old interstellar channels. "I'm sorry, I didn't know what they did. I would have stopped them if I could, please. Don't forget the ones who didn't want this." Her voice spread faster than the Terran message itself. Some said it was the first step toward peace. Others feared it was too late. Earth did not raise its voice. It raised the sky itself. Subscribe for the Last Judgment. Earth's fleet delivers its final verdict, like if Earth's silence speaks louder than any war ever could. Comment: was this justice or vengeance? No. The skies were quiet. The old Galactic Council homeworld, Elvaran Prime, spun gently in its orbit. No more political meetings, no more press briefings. It's only fear. Suddenly the stars shifted. One by one, massive black ships blinked into orbit. No sound, no warnings. The Terran Ghost Fleet had arrived. Each ship held position. Each one pointed toward a specific site, and every leader who had voted for the child's execution was about to face the final verdict. Across the surface, automated weapons powered up. Shield grids hummed. Remaining loyalist officers screamed orders into fractured comms. They haven't fired yet. Maybe they're bluffing. But inside they all knew. This was no bluff. This was judgment. A final broadcast came. Only 2. Those on Elvaran Prime. From Earth. Your votes sentenced a child. Our ships will sentence your silence. No name, no reply. Just one final line. You are not forgotten. Without sound, without fury, the Terran fleet opened fire. Not on cities. Not on civilians, but on coordinates. Every location connected to the execution order: judicial chambers, strategic bunkers, council towers. Defense command stations gone in flashes of white-blue energy. No collateral damage. No civilian harm, just surgical justice, delivered by machines older than most stars. Within 15 minutes, it was over. No gloating, no speeches. The Terran ships turned and vanished into hyperspace. All that remained was a dead sky and silence. Elvaran Prime has been neutralized. Council leadership eliminated. No civilian deaths reported. The galaxy watched in shock. Even Earth's harshest critics whispered, that wasn't war. That was precision. That was a message. Days later, a new coalition gathered. Species once ignored by the old council. Grawl, Vorsk, Hylian, Renari. They formed the Refugee Accord, a council that would never forget Earth's warning. Their first act: officially recognize Earth's contribution in the Orion Wars, formally apologize for the child's execution, open all historical records previously sealed. Earth received the message, but gave no reply. Instead, Terran ships returned to orbit above Earth and powered down, one by one. The Great Fleet lowered itself into the oceans, the ice caps, and Earth's mountains, back to sleep. Earth had no more to say. Its point had been made. A young alien student raised her hand. "Teacher, why don't we ever attack humans anymore?" The old Hellion professor smiled gently. 'cause the stars remember. And because Earth made sure we always would, she gestured to a giant statue outside, a human child holding a flower, surrounded by Terran ships in the sky. A plaque read, "In silence, there was justice. In judgment, there was mercy. Never again." Deep beneath Mars, the archive glowed with one final recording. It had been set to play long after. Earth went silent again. It said, "If you found this, peace has lasted. We've built war machines not to conquer, but to remind. The stars shine because they are watched. We forgive, we remember, we do not forget." They thought silence meant weakness. Earth taught them silence is the space between. Thunder. Subscribe for more epic HFY stories, new galaxy, new heroes, new threats coming soon. Like if Earth's justice was the only justice left? Comment. Was the Ghost Fleet right to end the Council? Or should Earth have taken another path?